Hey there, everyone. I'm Richard. This is Cowboy Survival, and I want to welcome you to the channel if you haven't been here before. And if you've been here before, I want to welcome you back. Look, what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at a product from Onewind Outdoors. It's called the Onewind Top Quilt and Poncho combination. And it can be used for a number of different things. It has several different configurations, ways you can use it. And I thought what we do is take it out of this stuff bag, take a look at it, and see how good it would be for its intended purposes. So let's just get into the Onewind Top Quilt Poncho. So before we take this thing out of its package and actually take a look at it as it's rolled out and how we use it, let's talk a little bit about this product versus its main competitor, the Swagman Roll from Helikon-Tex. First of all, they both come in this green bag. You notice that the Swagman Roll is a little bit smaller in size in the bag than the Onewind product is. Now, part of that is due to what they're made out of. This is more of a more compressible material than the Onewind top quilt. This is a product, it's made with a synthetic plant-based material fill. It's not a true fiber fill like you normally think, so it will squish down quite a bit, but not nearly as much as what's inside the Swagman Roll. In addition, there's a weight difference. The Onewind top quilt weighs about 2 pounds, a little bit more or less. The Swagman Roll weighs about 1.1 pounds, so it's significantly lighter, and it'll stuff in. Now, this comes in a stuff bag with a compression strap on it. This just has the stuff bag. A couple of interesting things about the Swagman you might remember from an earlier video, and I post that video down below. It does show several different ways you can use it, the different configurations, and so I think that's kind of nice. It shows all that for you. I'm going to put that down now, and we'll look at that maybe some more later. Now, the one quilt doesn't have anything on the outside, doesn't come with any instructions. It really doesn't come with much instruction whatsoever on how to use it, but it is a kind of a nice product. The bag itself, I said, has a compression strap, but what it doesn't have on the bottom is a pull strap. Now, if you remember, with the Swagman, it's got a strap on the bottom, and I can grab this, and it makes it easier to pull the whole thing out. With the Onewind product, there's nothing on the bottom for me to grab hold of to pull the thing out. I kind of have to hold on to it, pull it. It's a little bit of a pain, but you'll see that in just a moment as we open it. So the first step is going to be taking this out of its stuff bag and compression bag. Now, this stuff bag compression bag is interesting. It's got a clip right here. Just simply undo the clip. That's going to spring a little bit because I had it tied pretty tight. Then you're going to loosen the cord here at the top. It's got a little cord here at the top you can tighten, and we're going to loosen that. And when I start to pull this out, you're going to be surprised at how big this thing really is. There's a lot of material stuffed into this bag. This thing really crumples down pretty good, I think. I really like the extent to which it pulls out. It just keeps coming out. It's like clowns out of a car. It just keeps coming out, right? And so you end up with this. Now, the item itself is rectangular, and it comes green on the outside, black on the inside. And you can use this just as a blanket. You can fold it up sort of as a sleeping bag item. You can use it as a top quilt or bottom quilt on your hammock. And you can also use it as a poncho. So let's take a look at each of those uses. So I have it here laid out in kind of a blanket configuration. Now this configuration is kind of rectangular, but it's not perfectly rectangular. It's a little smaller down at this end than it is at this end. This is the foot end down here. That's the head end up there if you're going to use it like a blanket. Now, in this configuration, at the top, it's about 52, 53 inches wide, and it's about 72, 73 inches long. Now, that's long enough for me. I'm only 5'9", so that's going to be plenty long for me. But this does come in several different sizes, and you can get it in a bigger size, a longer version of this. Now, the next thing you might want to do is you might want to put together this like a sleeping bag almost and have a foot box in it. So let me show you how the foot box works. So to make the foot box, I'm going to flip this over. Now, first thing I want you to notice, there are some snaps. There's snaps down here at the bottom. There's 2 here. There's 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7 here. We're going to have to attach all of those snaps. Let's turn this over. And I've already picked up some dirt on the inside of it. Now, so what we're going to do now is we're going to fold this over this way. And we're going to start snapping these snaps. I'm going to take my gloves off because it's easier. So we're going to snap all of these snaps. And like I said, there's 7 of them. There's 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top, and 3 in between. Now the snaps go together fairly easily. I suppose they could come apart in the night, but the way this is designed, it's likely not to come apart. And we sort of fold it under a little bit so it gets a little bit of overlap, which is really good because that's going to help keep cold air out. And then we'll snap these last two. And it's got a strap here I'm going to go ahead and attach right here. And we'll pull that down tight. Now, I know what you're saying. Well, it's open here at the bottom. Well, it is, except that there is a drawstring in this, which is really nice. Just take this drawstring and you just pull this tight. You can pull both of these, actually. We're going to pull this tight on the bottom of this. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull that together, and we can just slide this down. I'll take this one and slide it down. Do that one a little tighter. Now that's at the bottom, it's all bunched up, and you've got a nice foot box that you can put your foot in at night and use this like as an underquilt in your hammock or in a sleeping bag. You put your foot in the bottom of this, and it's going to keep your feet nice and warm. And this part would be open. Now you can either sleep in it like this, you can sleep in it with it turned over, sort of as a top quilt. In a hammock, and with the bottom being open. But if you've got a sleeping bag under you or something under you, that's going to be fine. Now this can also, when it's opened up, be used as a top quilt or a bottom quilt, as I said, in a hammock situation, and that makes it also very versatile that way. Okay, let's take a look at how we use this in a poncho format. Now, you'll notice that, so it has here in the center, it's got a sort of a slit, and you can actually snap this. It's got a little collar on it, so you can sort of fold it in. You can snap this. If you're using this as a top quilt or bottom quilt, you would want to snap this closed like this, and it'll keep the air from getting in through this hole, so the hole is there. Now, but if you want to use it as a poncho, what we're going to do is we're going to unsnap that, and that's our head hole. Now you'll notice that it is not exactly in the center of the quilt. It's sort of off center. This is going to be the front of your poncho. This is going to be the back. Okay. So what we're going to do, we'll take my hat off. I'll put it up here for a moment. And we'll stay up there. We're going to put this over our head, and this is decent size hole. I've got no problem getting my head through it, and we're going to pull it through like this. Then what we're going to do is it's got a strap on it here. And we've got a buckle over here. And what we're going to do with that, if I can find the buckle, is we're going to take this strap and this buckle, we're going to fasten them, and we're going to pull this too. Now this is very similar to the Swagman Roll. But now what you have is you have this in a poncho format. You can walk with it. Now, the longer one's going to come down further. This, remember, is the shorter one. This is only about 74 inches, so you're going to get about 37 inches. You're actually going to get probably about 40 inches on the back, about 24 inches on the front, or something like that, 34 inches on the front. But it's not going to be perfect, right? It depends on how tall you are, whether or not you want the longer one or the shorter one. I'm fine with this because I like to have my legs free. I'm going to use this more as a warming coat in the morning than I would as a poncho, I think. In the mornings, I get up, it's cold, I want something on, and so I can just take this that I was sleeping in, throw it over my head, fasten it in the center like this, and I can make it as tight or as loose as I want to make it. And I can work with this as I'm going around the campsite, and it's got the warmth from when I was sleeping in it. It's going to keep me warm. I can already feel much warmer wearing this here in 35-degree weather today than I was without wearing it. So it's really kind of nice to have. You can get into your pockets if you need to. Like this. So I'm going to use it more as a top coat than I think as a poncho. Now you notice this does not have a hood on it. Also, as I said, it's not very long, so it's not going to necessarily keep my legs dry as I'm walking through the woods. I would need to have some leggings or something to keep my legs dry. I always notice that when I walk in the rain, while my upper body from about the knees up stays dry, from the knees down it gets very wet when I'm wearing most ponchos, because most ponchos simply are not long enough. Now, some people have said this is like a poncho liner. It really isn't, because this will not configure with a USGI poncho. It's just not going to. It doesn't have the grommets. The nice thing about, one of the things about the Swagman Roll, it's designed to integrate in with a USGI poncho. So with the USGI poncho, you can actually, it's got the grommets and the little grommet toggles that you can put through the holes in the poncho, so it can actually act as a poncho liner. Certainly you could use this under a poncho, but I don't know if I'd call this a poncho liner, because it's not designed to work in concert with the poncho. Just like any other coat you might wear underneath a poncho. So again, it doesn't have a pocket in the front. The Swagman Roll has a pocket. This does not have a hood. The Swagman Roll has a hood. Now, honestly, if I'm wearing a hat like this, I don't want a hood. If I was wearing a ball cap, maybe a hood would be okay. I don't really like hoods that much. They restrict my vision. I like to be able to see. So I like to wear a hat like this. It's going to keep the rain off my head. If I'm really cold, I'll have a scarf or something around my ears. But I'm not necessarily going to wear a hood all the time. It's just not something that I really care to do. But if you like hoods, you'd want something with a hood, I suppose. The other thing about this, it is a little restrictive in your movement. You can't raise your arms real high because of the way it's designed. It also cannot reach around and clasp in the back the way the Swagman Roll can. Now, as you're looking at this, you may notice that it's got some straps on it, some clips here and here. It's got another one here. It's got the other ends of them are over here. And you might notice these clips. What are these clips for? Well, when you're using this in a sleeping bag or top quilt format, you would clasp these together and they would sort of close the back end of this. Now, it's still going to be open because you see there's that much space between there and it doesn't really overlap. So it doesn't truly close the full thing. So I don't think you could really use this as a true closed sleeping bag, but you would be able to sort of fasten it around you to keep it from falling off in the middle of the night. So that's one of the things you have to think about with this item. This is not really a true sleeping bag, and it's not really a true poncho liner, but it is very warm, and we'll talk about some of the other benefits of it in a moment. I really like this thing. I can see using this a lot. I might do something with the buckle. The buckle doesn't seem to want to stay. If I pull it, it pulls out. I'd like my buckle to, when I tighten it, to stay down. So I'm going to think about what I can do with this buckle to maybe fix that and make it a little bit better so that it'll stay when I pull it in tight, it'll stay exactly where I want it to put in. I could put in my backpack over this if I wanted to. I'm not going to generally probably, but it's a great thing, like I said, to wear when I get up in the morning and I want to cook or I want to be building a fire. It's a great thing. Now, let's remember, this nylon on the outside is very likely, if you pick up sparks or embers, it'll get little burn holes in it, so you have to be careful with that. But you're gonna have that problem even with the Swagman Roll, I think. So, really nice product. Let's look and see how waterproof this thing is. Okay, so I've got some water here in my Nalgene bottle. I don't see. Ooh. It's a little tasty, but is this waterproof? Well, it says it's water resistant, and if I pour water on it, sure enough, it will run right off, and it doesn't feel like it's soaking in at all. However, because they didn't say it's waterproof, I would imagine that if this was in a sustained rain over a long period of time, this fabric might start to absorb some of that water. It doesn't say that it's waterproof, it just says that it's water resistant. So let's talk about the differences between this and the Swagman Roll. And if you want to watch the Swagman Roll video, I put a link to that down in the description so you can go see the details of that Swagman Roll video. Now, first of all, I like this item. It is very warm. Now, you can get this item in several different configurations. So not only can you get it in different sizes, you can get it in different temperature ranges as well. This is probably the lightest temperature range they sell it in. I think this is the 40 to 60 degree range item, where you can get them in I think down to 20 or something like that. So this is the lightest weather item that they have. Second, the price. This compared to the Swagman Roll, this is going to be about $60. The Swagman Roll is going to be about $120. So it's twice the price. So what's the difference? What do you get for that extra $60 if you go buy the Swagman Roll? Well, you're going to get a hood. You're going to get a little mat pocket in the front. Okay. You're going to get an item that can be fully sealed up as a sleeping bag. Other than that, you're not getting a whole lot more. The Swagman Roll is a little bit bigger. It's more like 88 inches, so it's an extra maybe 12 to 14 inches. I think it's about 12 inches larger than this, top to bottom. So it's longer. It's about the same width, so that's not going to be any difference. So basically, you get 3 features for 60 bucks. The hood, you're getting the pouch on the front, you're getting the fully zippered capability for the sleeping bag. And the other thing you get a stuff bag with a handle on the bottom. I don't know, you can attach your own handle to the bottom of the stuff bag for this item if you wish. It wouldn't be that difficult, just some thread and some fabric. So I think this is an excellent buy. I really like this item. I can see, I'm going to be using this item a lot. You're going to see this a lot in my videos, I think, going forward this winter. Because I just feel good in it. I feel moving around in it. I feel really good. So I'm probably going to be using this item a whole lot. But once I figure out how to fix the buckle tends to want to release. Any pressure at all, and that buckle pulls apart. I'm going to want a buckle that's, when I do it, it's going to stay put. And I got to figure out how to make that do that, so it's not, I'm not constantly having to tighten it. Other than that, I don't have any complaints with this item. Feels good. I feel really good in it, and it's going to keep me warm, I think, all day long wearing this thing around the campsite. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you found this to be kind of a neat piece of kit. I really like it. Let me know what you think about it. Put your comments at the bottom. Maybe you've compared the two, and you have some of your own thoughts on it. But I kind of like this item. It's a lighter temperature than my Swagman, so I can use it in lighter temperatures. Swagman gets kind of warm in temperatures like this, to be honest with you, because it really keeps me warm in very, very cold weather. Other than that, nice product. Put your comments down below. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and give us those thumbs up and make some comments. Otherwise, remember what we always say, stay strong, stay prepared, and have a blessed day. We'll see you real soon right here on Cowboy Survival.